Have you ever felt trapped between your dreams and your habits? You want to achieve something great. You imagine a successful future. You picture yourself living the life you've always wanted. But when it's time to take action, you hesitate. You delay. You tell yourself, "I'll start tomorrow." If that sounds familiar, then this story is for you. In a peaceful village surrounded by rivers and fertile land, there lived a young man named Kareem. Kareem was 26 years old. He was intelligent, energetic, and full of ambition. He often sat with his friends and said, "One day, I will own the largest farm in this region. My harvests will be known everywhere. People will respect me, and my family will never struggle again." The villagers admired Kareem's confidence. He spoke beautifully about the future. But there was a problem. Kareem loved dreaming more than doing. Every morning, hard-working farmers left their homes before sunrise. They prepared the soil, planted seeds, and cared for their crops. Kareem stayed in bed. When others worked under the scorching sun, Kareem sat beneath a tree discussing his plans. When his mother asked him to help around the house, he would smile and say, "Later. There's plenty of time." Days became weeks, and weeks became months. His dreams grew bigger, but his actions remained small. One afternoon, an elderly gardener named Rahman came to visit him. Rahman was respected throughout the village for his wisdom and experience. He looked at Kareem's land. The soil was rich and full of potential, but nothing was growing there. Rahman shook his head and asked, "Kareem, why is your field empty?" Kareem laughed confidently. "Don't worry, Uncle Rahman. I have great plans. I'll begin tomorrow." The old gardener smiled gently. He had heard those words many times before. The next day, Rahman returned carrying 2 clay pots. Inside each pot was a tiny plant. He handed them to Kareem and said, "These plants represent 2 paths in life." Kareem looked curiously at them. Rahman continued, "The first plant is called discipline. If you water it every day, protect it, and care for it, it will grow into a strong tree that produces fruit for many years." He then pointed to the second plant. "This one is called comfort. It grows without effort. It asks for nothing from you. But if you allow it to spread, it will slowly take over your entire garden and leave no room for anything valuable." Kareem nodded confidently. "That's easy. I'll take care of the discipline plant." But the following morning, he slept late. "I'll start tomorrow," he said. Tomorrow became another tomorrow. Days passed. Eventually, Kareem placed both plants in his garden and forgot about them. He spent his time relaxing, chatting, and imagining the successful life he would one day have. Several weeks later, he finally visited the garden. What he saw shocked him. The comfort plant had spread everywhere. Its vines covered the ground and wrapped around everything nearby. The garden looked messy and neglected. And the discipline plant? It was weak. Its leaves were yellow. It was barely alive. Kareem felt his heart sink. At that moment, Rahman appeared beside him. The old man looked at the garden and said, "Do you understand now?" Kareem remained silent. Rahman pointed at the dying plant. "Discipline is fragile in the beginning. It needs attention every day. Miss a few days, and it starts to fade." Then he pointed toward the spreading vines. "But comfort and laziness require no effort. They grow naturally. If you don't control them, they take over your life." Kareem stared at the garden. For the first time, he realized that the garden was a reflection of himself. His dreams were alive, but barely. His excuses had become stronger than his ambition. That night, he could not stop thinking. He remembered all the opportunities he had wasted. All the promises he had made to himself. All the tomorrows that never came. As he looked out the window, he whispered, "If I keep living like this, nothing will ever change." The next morning, Kareem woke up before sunrise. For the first time in years, he started working before anyone asked him to. He removed the spreading vines one by one. The work was exhausting. His hands became sore. Sweat covered his face. But he refused to quit. Every day he watered the discipline plant. Every day he spent time improving himself. Every day he chose action over excuses. Months passed. The discipline plant became stronger. Years later, it had grown into a magnificent tree filled with fruit and shade. Kareem changed as well. His farm flourished. His harvests became famous throughout the region. But more importantly, he became a different person. He was no longer known as the young man who talked about success. He became known as the man who worked for it. Dear listener, this story is not really about a garden. It is about your life. Inside every person, there are two forces. One is discipline. The other is comfort and laziness. Discipline must be fed daily with action, consistency, and effort. Laziness grows on its own. If you ignore it, it will quietly take control of your future. So don't wait for the perfect moment. Don't wait for tomorrow. Start today. Take one small step. Water your discipline. Protect your dreams. Because success belongs to those who act while others keep waiting. And remember, every great future begins with a single action taken today. This version keeps the same motivational lesson but changes.